Okay, well, since that was a bust, let's go back to him and skip ahead to... What was I doing? Da 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 da. Alright, so we've already got his shit ending. I'm not so sure about spaceflight. His eyes widen. You see them sparkle? Ah, I see. You're an individual with a more sophisticated palate. A real connoisseur of the buoyant arts, you are. Someone like you could never be satisfied with the anemic affair of traveling through the inky blackness of the galaxies. I believe a jaunt to my hive is in order. Let's get a wiggle on. There was a lot of going on there, but you understand that he wants you to follow him. Whoa! The friendly guy takes you to a building where all of the rooms seem to be balanced on spindly-looking stilts. The hive soars above you up in the sky. He gestures to a little platform attached to a pulley system, like a rudimentary elevator. It brings you up into a small, dark room. Wow, he really likes airplanes. His house is pretty much what you would have guessed. Well, starships also. The walls are covered in star maps and pictures of spaceships. You notice that many of them have cheery slogans splashed across them saying things like, "Explore the galaxies because you're required to fulfill your duties to society," and "Enlist, travel, make friends, don't get cold." Your new friend doesn't seem too happy as he looks around the place. Just the hive for a dedicated spacecraft enthusiast, isn't it? You nod. You're not sure what this is leading to, but no one ever went wrong relying on non-specific and plausibly deniable agreement. Who am I fooling? You've rumbled me, potential new chum. What you see before you is a collage of falsehoods. I'm nothing but an aviator of baloney. Come on in, bud. Okay. In truth, the myriad temptations and desires of space do nothing to tickle my biscuit. The thought of participating in the glorious eternal conquest gives me the screaming memes. My interest lies in something a little lower down. He reaches up and peels back one of the posters. Behind it is another poster, this one showing a view of clouds in the night sky. Behold my shame! The truth is, I long to toss and turn within the grasp of Mistress Gravity's sweet fingers. To traverse the sky, can such a thing be? Imagine flying within the confines of Alternia's very atmosphere, defying the very conventions of what we all know to be true. Instead of down, up. Instead of falling, soaring. Can you imagine? Can you see it before you? Could you ever dream of the existence of such a flying machine? I kind of want to tell him that airplanes exist. I brought you here to show my truth, and you treat me to mockery. An airplane, a plane that floats in the air. Flying machines are a serious business. I think you should leave. Aww. But I just wanted to tell him that his dreams were real. They were realizable. Okay. Time to go back. Tell him I have never heard of anything like that, dude. Ah, but the future is ours to build, my strange-hued and unhorned comrade. What do you think? Does it excite you? Do my ideas rattle your buttons? You can't help but notice he's referred to you as chum and comrade, but friend hasn't made an appearance yet. Do synonyms count? Or is it just a tick of his speaking style? You look as earnest as you can and nod vigorously. You're almost positive this is the thing he really wants you to express interest in. Aha! The truth will out. You and I share this furtive passion for the indulgences of the air. A dialogue between a troll, a flying machine, and the stars. But further away from the stars than we would be in a spaceship. I cannot stress enough how different of a thing it is. You can't decide between nodding and shaking your head here, so you furrow your brow, and do your best to look thoughtful. Like maybe you are contemplating the differences. This fellow's demeanor towards you is definitely shading to the more temperate climate zones. However, certain physical needs are starting to assert themselves. You're still pretty banged up from your previous adventures, but right now the aching of your stomach is screaming for attention. You humbly ask your friend-to-be if there might be any chance of getting a bite to eat. But of course! Why, if I'd known you had a rumbling in the old digestion bladder, I would have shut my upper toot sweet. Time for a good old Nash, a Yamarooney, what ho! Now, should we obtain the victuals, we should venture into the great unknown, which is to say, out of my hive. Or we could stay here, beholden to whatever twists and turns Lady Fate has in store for us in the nutrition block. What say you, new timer? Let's stay in the hive. You tell him any food he has in his house will be fine. No problem at all, my fine and fervent fellow. However, I believe two kindred souls such as ourselves have more ways of communicating than mere words alone. I think I'm grasping the meaning behind your request. Whoa! Wait! The signal from your transmitter is pinging in my cranial orb's receiver. I can see what you're truly after is food for the soul. You definitely meant food for the body. You look for an opening where you might gently correct your new buddy, but he seems to be working himself up to say a lot of more things. The delectable nutrition of what a troll's truest being craves. The sustenance of thought, of imagination, of desire. That which nourishes the self better than the finest grub noodles. Art, passion, science. You must have a hankering to see my flying machine design sketches. Despite your troubles, you can't help but think his enthusiasm is kind of sweet. You nod weakly. You make one last attempt, indicating that food might strengthen you to fully appreciate his work. No need to worry. I am fully confident in your ability to take in my glorious blueprints. You have shown yourself to quite the sturdy noggin and a discerning ganderbulb. I would welcome your input. Warmth blooms in your stomach. Feels nice to hear him compliment you. You're not sure what you've actually done to earn his praise, but you definitely don't want to ruin this now. Maybe seeing his designs will be fun, even on an empty stomach. Maybe it really will nourish you on a level that will help you forget the prosaic, earthly nourishment you thought you wanted. You tell him you're in. Not so fast. That which I am planning to reveal to you is what I keep closest to my torso pillar. It's not that I don't trust you, my footloose and horn-free cohort, but I think I would like to trust you a little more before vivisecting myself, and displaying my bleeding organs before your penetrating gaze, which is a metaphor for exposing my portfolio. Might I trouble you to participate in a small trust trial? No problem, you tell him. Your bud insists you make yourself comfortable while he gets a few supplies. After a few minutes, he returns with a fistful of fabrics in different colors. Here's what's been bouncing around in the old brain box of mine, buddy-o. I'm gonna tie this blindfold around your face. Oh, fuck no. Then I'm going to give you some instructions. And you're going to try to locate the case where I keep my treasured sketches. If you can find it, it's gotta mean we trust each other deeply. Like two wings working in unison to achieve liftoff. That's how wings work. I'm still figuring out the principles of the matter. What a romp! Are you up for it? It's too late to turn back now, and really, you don't want to. It's kind of a relief to have him tell you what you can do to earn his friendship in plain terms. Well, as plain as this guy's terms get. Give him a thumbs up. Now we're on the trolley. He quickly ties the fabric around your face. Time is upon us. Time for the inaugural flight of our deepening bond. Time to nudge our fledgling companionship out of the nest and see what happens. Your new friend starts to direct you around the room. To the left. No, my left. Sorry, okay, I meant your left. Now onwards to the glorious future that lays before us. You smile weakly, doing your best to follow his instructions. He sounds happy, so you must be getting somewhere. Almost to the doorway. 3 steps forward if you would be so— Wait! Crash. You stagger backwards from the impact. You hear yourself wheeze. The shock has totally knocked your lungs out of commission. Your chest jerks in tiny contractions as you gasp for air. Oh, beans. Ding dang darn it. There's no pain, just an intense pressure focused on the center of your face. Right around where you ran into something face first. You pull up the blindfold and you hear footsteps, which probably means your new friend is rushing over to help. He gets the blindfold untied, and his face swims into your vision. He looks utterly gobsmacked. Why, I'll be a horn-beast scrub food. Everything copacetic, new pal? You put your hand to your face and touch something wet. Sure enough, when you pull your fingers away, they're covered in blood. Your nose isn't gushing or anything, just sending out a couple rivulets to let you know it's having a bad day. It's not so bad. Oh shit, I'm bleeding. You tell your acquaintance this, but he doesn't look any less horrified. Shivering struck. Stratocumuli! All this time I've been testing you, to see if I could place the tender gift of trust in your declawed little hands. And here you've bestowed upon me the greatest trust of all. Knowledge of your non-standard hematological attributes. I am truly honored. Flabbergasted. Absolutely pushed to the brink of rationality by such a display of faith. Never mind the trust trial. You deserve to see my sketches. Just wait here. I mean, at least he's not one of the people who just wants to fucking kill you for your blood. You know, that's a good sign. I feel like some of the higher bloods might. Be back in 2 shakes of a baby Bobby's hindquarters. 2 shakes of a lamb's leg? You sit down on the floor again, wiping the blood off your face. You're not going to question the stroke of luck you've been shown. Why, if you knew bleeding was the key to his affections all along, you would have encouraged some blood from the sites of your multiple injuries. But no matter, you sniff the last of the blood back into your nostrils, tasting metal at the back of your throat. When your almost friend returns, he drops a big stack of papers onto your lap. You page through the designs. The first few are rudimentary, mostly variations on spaceships with little notes like how to make it not reach escape velocity, and less jet fuel, shape could be less aerodynamic. But as you keep going, the designs get pretty interesting. One seems to rely on some big rotating sails to achieve lift. Another shows a light frame body attached to 4 jointed wings. What he plans to make the wings out of before you see the note stating that these are dragon wings. A follow-up scribble states, flapping mechanism, how to soften rigor mortis. But hang on, you take a closer look at the guy's machine frame. This guy's sketch is pretty detailed. The frame doesn't seem to be made out of wood or aluminum as you expected, but smaller, individual shapes lashed together with some kind of cord. Maybe it's just a macabre aesthetic, but you think it looks like bones? You look back at the other designs, now that you look at the sails in this one of a texture that might be leather, or similar. The sketches themselves are picked out in a variety of colors, not dissimilar from some of the brand new blood colors you've discovered lately. Oh boy, you've been down this creepy alien road before. Using your lightest, most jocular tone, you question the bone shapes. You soften your words with a big, non-freaked-out smile. What's that? Well, I'm not a construction professional, you know. Gotta make use of what's available. Only culled low-bloods and grubs, of course. Not an ounce of insurrectional spirit in this fellow over here. Fear not, unhorned one. These wacky cultural differences, you just misunderstood. You take refuge in your old standby of nodding and smiling. It's none of your business what body parts this fellow uses or doesn't use to make his Wright brothers transformative fan works. Friends aren't for judging people's use of corpses as construction materials anyway. You know, when you crash-landed on my planet, I had no idea what to think. By carry, old boy, you've really shot the balls now. That's what I told myself. Telling an alien about your flying dreams, that's rough of the kitty and no doubt about it. But now that we're here and you're having a looky-loo at my sketches, I'm thinking it might have been right for us to meet all along. Perhaps the work of the capricious Madame Destiny. Surely he's about to say that you're friends. You can almost taste those sweet, friendship-affirming syllables coming from his mouth. You are just seconds away from that coveted F-word. Or are you? Maybe you've misconstrued everything. You look back down at the sketches. Bones in this one. Bones in that one. He says these plans call for the bones of aliens like him, at least if you understood him correctly. But they really don't look that different from... well, the bones you're familiar with. Your bones. Your bones, which have already gone through a lot today, and maybe seem to be in a kind of harvestable condition, if one was so inclined. You clear your throat. You say, he's, not, it's not in the market for these materials right now, is he? Like, right now? The friendly guy doesn't understand your question, but you're not going to push it. You do risk a quick glance at yourself, then back at him, then back at yourself, just to see if he is checking out the stuff, so to speak. When you look back at him, he looks aghast. Whoops. Heavens to biscuits! Is that what you think of me? You think I'm the type to start taking people's body parts all higgledy-piggledy, as if there aren't plenty of thoughtlessly discarded rib cages to work with? That's the type of gent you're looking for in these parts. I'm afraid I'm not the aggressive heartthrob you're after. We can't all be the macho, bloodthirsty, romantic hero type. ready to whip out our August harvesting tools at any moment's notice. I thought we could be friends, but now I see you're looking for something different. My apologies, I think. I think it's best that you go elsewhere. You want to correct the misunderstanding, but you're not sure what the misunderstanding is. This guy doesn't seem to be in any mood for friendship right now, though. You hang your head. Looks like this was all just a big waste of time. Misunderstood. I'm sorry, bro. I thought you were harvesting organs. You think I'm harvesting organs. My bad, bro. My bad.